Black Lives Matter is a terrorist organization. And for any of you who are skeptical of that, then you need to look up the definition of what terrorism is. So let's take a look at what the official FBI definition of terrorism is. Terrorism is defined in the Code of Federal Regulations as the unlawful use of force and violence against persons or property to intimidate or coerce a government, the civilian population, or any segment thereof in furtherance of political or social objectives. Does that sound familiar? Does that sound like any group that we might be familiar with? Oh, gee, probably Black Lives Matter. I mean, I can't think of any group that would fit the definition of terrorism better than Black Lives Matter. Just going through this definition here. Violence against persons or property. Well, let's see. Over the last 2 months of these mostly peaceful protests, we have billions of dollars in damage, thousands of stores looted, hundreds of buildings burned, thousands of stores looted. And then in terms of violence against people, so far we've had thousands of people injured, some police officers, some civilians, many people dead, many black people died over the last 2 months in the name of Black Lives Matter. And then to intimidate or coerce a government, civilian population, or any segment thereof in furtherance of a political or social objective. Well, that one is pretty clear, as they are burning, looting, pillaging, threatening, causing violence all over the country. They are doing so in order to push their core objective and demand, which is to defund the police. And they've told you this countless times. Pretty much all of the Black Lives Matter leaders have come out and said that we want to defund the police. And if we don't get our way, we are going to burn the system down. If that doesn't sound like terrorism, then I don't know what does. So let's take a look firsthand from what some of these Black Lives Matter leaders are telling people.
I said if this country doesn't give us what we want, then we will burn down this system and replace it.
Yes or no, will you commit to defunding Minneapolis Police Department?
For those of you who might say, oh, well, those are just the extremists. They just want to defund the police. Some have even called to abolish prisons. But, there's plenty of people that show up to the Black Lives Matter rallies. They show up with their BLM shirt, hold up their I Can't Breathe sign. And, they don't support defunding the police. Well, then understand this. If you show up and support Black Lives Matter, and you are not in favor of defunding the police, then understand that you are at odds with the leaders of the group that you support, because that's what they want to do. That is their goal. That is their objective. And if they are successful in accomplishing and having their goals and demands met, then the police will be defunded.